This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. They're the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website. Now, I use Squarespace to build RuPaulPodcast.com, and I have been absolutely thrilled with it. Squarespace makes it easy to cover all of my needs. Looks incredible and doesn't require much upkeep, which with my schedule is essential. Start with a free trial at squarespace.com/RuPaul with no credit card required. When you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with the offer code RU. That's RU. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU. It's RuPaul. What's the tea with Michelle Visage?
Hi.
So we've been up in here talking. Of course, the topic of the hour is RuPaul's Drag Race, the English version. And, listen, did you know that Jonathan Ross, who has bought the rights to it for the UK, he and I are born on the exact same day, the exact same year, the exact same day.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, he bought the rights to RuPaul's Drag Race in the UK. And Michelle and I were just talking about, wonder if he's going to hire us to be part of it or if they're going to get an English drag queen or host or someone to be on the show. And I think it kind of makes sense that they would get an English host with English humor and English drag slang and all that stuff to be the host.
It makes sense, but here's the thing. Look, my Anglophilia is as strong as your Aussiephilia.
I love an Oz.
And everything I do, like I've lived in the UK in a former life. I know I have. I love everything about it, specifically the humor. Mm-hmm. So I disagree with you because I think that they want the real deal, which is you.
That'd be great.
And I put myself in on that as well because, I'm ruin a pocket. And for me, I know because you understand Australian humor, which is slightly different than UK.
Yeah.
But it's just as dry. You're going to understand and they're going to get you and you're going to get the humor. So I think it should be you, me, and somebody, a Brit, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then take it from there. You're going to understand. They want the real deal. They don't want a knockoff. They want you there. They want me there.
Listen, I would love to do it. I would love to do it. But listen, if I were Jonathan Ross, I would probably hire someone else. Though.
Why though? If he could have you.
But you've seen all of those imports of other shows that don't work over here. Luckily for them, Queer as Folk worked in America for many, many years, but I saw the English version of it.
It's better.
The English version made more sense.
Yes,
because the culture there, it's a pub culture. Yes. Everybody goes to the pub for the.
Yes.
But in Cleveland, I think it took place in Cleveland, the American version. Who goes to pub every night in Cleveland?
But what you're saying is exactly right. But it's not the other way. When British stuff comes to America, we bastardize it and ruin it for the most part.
Right.
Kath and Kim, Fab, it just gets destroyed because we don't understand the British humor, right? In this country. But Americans understand the British humor. So taking an American show and bringing it to the UK, the humor, Kel, is already there. Mm-hmm. It's already there.
Well, we'll see.
You're already home, girl.
We will see what Jonathan Ross does. And I don't know if I've ever met. I think I spoke with him on the phone once, and I may have done his show. It's just so blurry.
Yeah, well, it's been a few years, girl.
Which is, I did do the big breakfast with Paula Yates. How
did
weird.
You?
Yes, I did.
This craziness with Peaches.
Isn't that crazy?
It's really crazy.
But life happens, doesn't it? Life happens. That's what we talk about with the girls on the show. People get upset when a girl leaves. Well, the truth is, everybody leaves.
Yeah.
Everybody goes.
We do.
And it's okay. And I think
sometimes it's before it's their time. Sometimes you'd wish it was sooner.
Yeah. But, and the fans, they get really attached to certain girls. And they're like, why?
I understand that.
Yeah, I do. But there's also a part of it. That's what makes the competitions, the stakes so high.
Yeah.
Is that, I remember when Oprah left the air, years ago, that's what gives something value, is knowing that it does have an end date. And that's why you appreciate it and you love it when it's happening.
I love when people go out on top. Shocker. But I really do, because for me, it's like, that's what my whole problem is with doing music. Again, Seduction went out on such a high note. Like, we had a platinum album, and then I was on the Bodyguard soundtrack. If I did anything that failed beneath that, like, for me, I'm letting myself down. So the point in me saying this is, when somebody knows it's time and they have done everything that they can do, like in Oprah, I think it's genius, because they're always going to be remembered for that. Otherwise, you're going to be remembered for the failure. And I hate that, especially when somebody's done so much good, and then you're going to remember, oh, well, then she had a shitty talk show or a floppy sitcom or whatever, record, whatever, fill in the blank.
But see, I think that gives a career more, makes it more textural and substantial. Like, Cher has made so many mistakes. Madonna, on the other hand, has not made one. She's her movie career. Her movie career is
surprise.
Well, but still,
which I loved.
The in terms of the pop part of it, there's no mistakes there. She has been so calculated and so on point that it's almost unhuman. It feels sort of like a
robotic,
kind of robotic. But don't get me wrong. I bowed down.
Oh no, I know.
I bowed down to Madonna. Her career, her work ethic, the music. It is.
You'd know I'd be screaming if I thought otherwise.
Perfection. But somehow, because Cher has made so many mistakes with the infomercial and certain albums and her love life and that, it makes it more interesting to me.
It makes her more human.
Yes.
For sure. It brings that element. And that's, it's funny that you brought that up, because in my head, I think that's what a lot of people don't understand when I say, and you back it up when I say, you're beautiful. I have no idea who you are.
Right.
And they say, well, this is a drag competition. Why do you need to know who she is? Because, you guys, we're talking about America's next drag superstar. We're talking about somebody who's holding the crown. Why ask a question at a friggin' beauty pageant then? Mm-hmm. Because we want to know about the person. When they're out there, are they going to be, just a pretty face? Are they going to be a jerk to people who want to talk to them and take their... I want to know who the person is. Do they have a sense of humor, or are they just a pretty face?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong. We love a pretty face. I love a pretty queen. It's gorgeous to look at. But what happens when I go to have a conversation? It's like me when I would date every boy on the planet because he was hot, and I just wanted to have sex with him, and I did. And then it was time to go to the movies or go to dinner, and I was like, oh,
right, I
don't like you.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that you want to be able to root for people. You want to be able to cheer them on, especially if they have a comeback story. We want to see
the underdog,
their humanity, and that's where we see ourselves. In fact, I think that's where the magic in humanity happens, in the mistakes, in the blank spots, in the places where, I'm obsessed with Murder, She Wrote, among other things.
She's now a dame.
I know.
Deservedly so.
Not a moment too soon.
Amen.
And what's brilliant about watching Angela Lansbury is
genius.
The parts where she doesn't have dialogue. Seeing her inner dialogue where someone else is speaking. And I think that's... there's a...
take me away.
The pizza's here. Siren you're hearing outside. But I think that's what makes things interesting, are the parts that are not so produced. It feels like Madonna's career has been so calculated and produced. And you know what? She's perfection.
No, but I'm going to add to that, because being the huge Madonna fan that I am. What's happened in her later years is that we've lost the person and we've gotten the machine. And there's nothing, I still love the albums. I still love the tours. I'm still going to support her and love her and the Art for Freedom Project and all this stuff. And I love what she's doing. But back when we would see her at the clubs and we would see her in the gay community, we'd see her at the rallies, we'd see her just being her. And sometimes you might not like the way she looked, but she was being very human. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're not getting from her anymore. There's no more of that.
Right.
That's what's lacking. And that's the whole thing with the queens on RuPaul's Drag Race, you guys. Don't come for me or Santino or whoever when I say I'm not getting who you are. Because if they come out as a character and they're always that character, and I talk to them and they answer me as a character, how am I supposed to know who they are as a person? And that's my job. My job, RuPaul hired me to judge these bitches. That is my job. And I take it seriously because I take drag seriously because it's important to me. And it's important to me that the world sees what a viable, important art form drag is. It's not to be mocked. It's not to be made fun of. It's serious. And this is what these kids do for a living. So if I'm asking you to show me who you are, I'm not saying drop the routine. I'm saying give me a glimpse.
Right.
Just let me know a little bit. What's going on back there?
Right. You know, it's interesting because I know that Sharon Needles is a perfect example of someone who can do the persona, but is also very, very human. I mean, you know, I remember at times. Well, but you know what? She was a perfect combination of gender F word and of consciousness, of humanity, of being a sweetheart at the same time.
Agreed.
You know?
And you saw it mostly in the workroom. Now, again, remember, on stage is something else. So they're trying to put on this grand thing because they've got all these people that are judging them, which is horrible in the real world, but we all do it.
Right.
So they're out there and it's like, okay, now show me who you are. Sharon had a way, and once I called her on it, and you talked about it in the workroom, it was always apparent in the workroom. Now, mind you, I don't see that until the main stage. So when you call her on it and she showed it, it was like, oh my God, look at you. Yeah. You're sensitive and sweet and just the wounded little boy from Iowa underneath all that spooky makeup. And that's what we want to see. It's go, now I can relate to you.
Right. You know, I want to talk about a little bit about luck and talent and all the elements that make someone a star, that makes someone excel in any field, but specifically on RuPaul's Drag Race and in show business. Now, Michelle, I've always said this about you. You are a kind of girl who's always landed on her feet. You're like a cat. You know, when you look at your bio with starting in the house, you know, with the houses with all the voguing and all that stuff, onto, you know, a girl group, you know, and then before that, you know, music theater and stuff, and then punk rock before that, and then a rapper in this group. But then we met again in radio, and now you're a television personality. How much of that is luck? How much of that is tenacity, and how much of that is talent?
I think 98% of it is luck and tenacity, and just the fact that I do not have a degree in anything but musical theater. So part of it is fear that drives me to not fail, because for me, what else am I going to do? I'm the breadwinner. My husband is a stay-at-home dad. I'm the one who feeds my 2 children and my husband and myself. And it's obviously working because I'm fed quite well. So for me, it's a matter of, I got to keep going. I haven't achieved this dream. I haven't gotten this dream. I've been on the radio. I've been on TV. 2 of my dreams. I've nowhere near where I want to be. I want to be on a sitcom. I want to be on Broadway. These dreams are still out there, and I'm still chasing them. It's about getting more and getting better and getting stronger all the time.
But does that ever stop? Because did you see the Joan Rivers documentary?
Yes, it stops. Of course it stops.
But did you see the Joan Rivers thing?
I haven't, and I heard it is so amazing.
It is amazing, but there was certain sort of kind of heartbreaking. No, that's the wrong word, but there was something
sad.
The fact that she is so accomplished, but she doesn't feel that. She is driven in a way that she hasn't accomplished anything. She's just, you know, that's that, but I'm still reaching for that. At what point do you say, you know what? I'm here now, and this is okay.
You're 100% right, and that's very deep. And if I'm going to be completely honest, and I hate to even put myself in the same breath as a legend like Joan Rivers, but I feel the same way. You can list my credentials and you can do my whole bio. To me, that's nothing. And kids would kill themselves to have a record deal, let alone a song on the Bodyguard soundtrack. Right. And I'm grateful for it. I am so grateful for it. But I haven't even scratched the surface of what I want to achieve. And part of me feels like if I stop and smell those roses, something's going to pass me by. Right. So I have to constantly hustle.
Do you feel like a lucky person?
I feel like I have luck when it comes to, I know I have talent, okay? I know I have talent. I have the gift of gab. I have charisma because I can light up a room. It's a gift of mine when I walk in to have all the attention on me. And not just that way, I earn it. I'm a good talker. I pay attention. I look people in the eyes when I talk. It's just a gift that I've been given. I also know that I have a decent voice. I don't think that I am Martha Wash or Mariah Carey, but I have a decent voice that I can sell. I can sell shit. I'm a great salesperson, especially when it comes to selling myself. So that's my gift. Luck. Go ahead.
But do you feel lucky?
I feel lucky in a sense that I have the people around me that believe in me and love me. So, and I'm blessed to have that. And that is luck.
But experiences, like I know I'm a lucky person. And I know, I can't even articulate what that feels like in my body, but just through experiences.
Yes, of course.
Knowing even coincidences.
But there's different kinds of luck. I'm not lucky to win the lottery because I'm not rich by any shakes. I do a show on Logo TV and I'm not rich, but people will see me on TV and think, oh, she's got the life. They have no idea how I struggle. And that's not for here. But the point is, so there's that kind of luck. I'll never win the lottery. But I've won the lottery in love. I've won the lottery in friendships. I've won the lottery in being able to sustain a mortgage and pay my bills for all these years working in an industry that I love, where most people will never get an opportunity or a chance. So yes, to answer your question, I do feel extremely lucky.
Yeah, because I think it's a huge part in show business, and a lot of people don't realize how much that. Because you and I both have known many people who are so talented, but they can't catch a break.
No,
they can't, or their personality.
They're missing that it factor.
It's that other thing that even. I got to say, when I've hired people, a lot of times the question comes, do you want to spend 6 months, a year with this person? Are they someone that you want to be around?
Yeah.
And some people may be very talented, may have, all the credentials, but they don't have that thing, that other thing. Yeah. And I know that you and I both have that thing.
Yes.
We're both likable people.
Yes.
And fun to be around.
Yes. And the thing is, unfortunately, you can't create that thing. You've either got it or you don't. That's why a lot of kids who are so talented, and by kids I mean anyone from 10 to 500, you can look at anybody on the internet anywhere and say, oh my God, they are so talented, but they're never going to make it because of their attitude, their persona. They just don't have that it. And then you'll see people that are okay talented, and they're huge because of luck, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Right.
And that's the truth.
It's true. It's true.
So a lot of it is luck. A lot of it.
Now, when you were in music theater school and all that stuff, were there other people you were studying with or coming up with who became famous?
Not a one.
Not one.
Not one of them.
Were there ones that you thought, oh, that one's got it, that one's going to happen?
First of all, I always knew that I was destined to be a star. I just didn't know what it was.
Everybody did, though.
Right. So what I'm saying, for me, I didn't know what that feeling felt like for anybody else. I just knew what it felt like for me. Right. And I don't feel like a star. I don't feel like a celebrity in any which way, because I'm not. I still have so far to go. With that said, thinking back and thinking in college with all these talented singers and performers, there was not one of them where I went, wow. No. But I didn't go to Juilliard. I didn't go to Yale School of Drama. I went to American Musical Dramatic Academy, where I feel like if you had the money, they took anybody, which is now a real school, and it's 4 years accredited. When I went, it was a Bobo college that was 2 years, and I just wanted to get out there. And I got my certificate, and I just wanted to be auditioning for Broadway shows.
It wasn't a Butterball Turkey gift certificate?
I wish it was a Butterball Turkey gift certificate, because then I would have gotten a lot further. At least I would have gotten a meal.
I went to high school in Atlanta at the Northside School of Performing Arts, and I went there at the same time that Jasmine Guy, she was in my class.
Really?
Yeah.
How come I never knew that?
I don't know why you never knew that.
Whitley.
Yeah, she was there. I think there was someone else there.
In your class?
Yeah.
Or is she older than you?
She's younger than me.
Oh.
But we were all.
She just looks older. That was so shady, guys. It was a joke.
We were in the School of Performing Arts department, and they had kids from 14 to 17 at that time, and I was 16. I think she was 14 or 15, something like that.
It's easy to check out.
Yeah, but even in the East Village back then, well, no, even before that, in Atlanta, REM. They were already stars though by the time I was doing that.
Those are the people you came up with. Like in college, I didn't have anybody, but I came up with Daphne Rubin Vega.
Sure,
because she was in Pajama Party when I was in Seduction, and
That's
we were best friends. And she went on to do Rent and all the other amazing accomplishments.
Sure. Yeah.
And again, to me, Daphne, when you hear her, is not the voice that you'd go, oh, that's it. Daphne's got a specific sound that you either like or you hate. She's got that really scratchy voice, but she's done, and I love it, just for the record, but she's done incredibly well, doing what she does. And who else was around in our time?
Well, you know what? When I moved to New York, I got into the club scene, and I thought, well, I'll pick up my quest for mainstream stardom after I do this.
Right, right. Let me get this out of my system.
Let me get this out of my system. And then all of a sudden, by 1990, my friends Delight had jumped ahead of the line.
Right.
They had jumped ahead of me, got their deal, and was off and running. I thought, wait a minute, they were behind me in line.
How'd that happen?
And because of them, I said, you know what? I'm going to put this cocktail down, and I'm going to get my stuff together. And I went,
really?
That's exactly what happened.
Delight.
It was Delight. And I thought, oh, no.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm over here. And that's exactly what happened. I went to Randy and Fenton and said, okay.
Let's do something.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's do this.
Sometimes it just takes that click. For me, it was Idalis. After Seduction was over, Idalis was my best friend. She got fired from Seduction, and she got mad at me for staying in Seduction when they fired her, when she was the one who told me about the audition.
Right.
I tried to save her. It did not work. They did not let me use a save on that season. Mm-hmm. I tried. But she went on to be an MTV VJ. And to this day, we're still very good friends. We made up, and it was all good.
Why did she get fired?
She got fired because Idalis was a mouthy Puerto Rican from Brooklyn who would literally go into, like if we go to a radio station, she'd go in and go, why aren't you playing our record? And they go, because, we're there to schmooze them. Idalis, shut up. Why aren't you playing our record? The whole fucking country's, and excuse me, this is how she talked. The whole effing country's on our record. Why aren't you playing our record?
Yeah.
Or she'd go into a club and go, this, by the way, is not a dressing room. We are stars. This is not a dressing room. So after a while, and I would tell her, stop. Stop. She couldn't help herself. So the talk would get back to CNC, and they were like, you can't. Right now it's pivotal for this group to make it or break it.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do that. Right. So they got rid of her, and she was the first one in the group, and she's gorgeous and talented, and I love her. And we used to have a dream of doing a talk show together, like on MTV, like we'd just doing like improv and stuff. And she went on to be an MTV VJ and did really well. And that was for me, like, I was jealous because I was stuck without a girl group now. Seduction was over. And here she is glowing in MTV.
How long did the group continue after Idalis was fired?
Probably about a year, because Seduction was really only around for just shy of 2 years. And by the time it was time to start doing the next album, we realized that it wasn't going to work because it was one of the worst deals in history.
Right.
Not unlike TLC or
Sure.
the Supremes. So it was terrible.
Yeah.
So we were going to move on. After talking to a lawyer, we realized if this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So Idalis kept on MTV, and then at that point I was like, now what do I do? So I started working at the strip club. That's how the progression.
But not as a stripper.
No, I was the MC of the Hot Oil Wrestling show.
At what club?
Goldfinger's in Queens, New York.
Ah.
And I was getting prepped to be the big announcer at the show in New York City when they were opening on 11th Avenue and 28th Street. It was going up against Scores, which was just taking over the world.
Right.
So it was huge when we opened. All the celebrities came in there. Like LL Cool J would come in. Sean Penn came in. And his bodyguard comes over to me and goes, my client wants to meet you. And I go, who's your client? He goes, Sean Penn. And I go, you know me, Rue, it's Sean Penn. He goes, he thinks you look like his ex-wife, Madonna. So I did not know what to say, and I couldn't go over. I couldn't do it. You
didn't go over there.
I couldn't do it.
What's wrong with you?
So the one time I finally meet Sean Penn, I was on VH1 doing the red carpet for 25th anniversary of Grease.
Right.
Would it be 25?
It was 20th.
20th. Okay, Alan Carr was there.
Wow.
I got to meet Alan Carr. I got to interview him.
Oh, wait, for Grease or Saturday Night Live? Oh,
no, Grease.
Right. So that would have been the 20th.
Was
right?
it 20?
Because it came out, Grease came out in 78.
Okay, and this was like 90, I guess 98.
Yeah,
So
that would have
20
been 28,
years.
yeah.
So Robin Dorian, who was on VH1 with us at the time, she was a VJ, was with me in the hotel lobby. Sean Penn walks in, and I saw him from a mile away. I go, Sean Penn just walked in. She goes, oh, I know him. I've interviewed him like 3 times. I'm going to introduce you. I go, don't. It was the one, like him and Madonna. I've never met Madonna. I think I'd do the same thing because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth because I know everything about him and I'm so obsessed. So literally she introduces me. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. Like this fake voice. And the one thing I said to him was, people tell me that I look like the child that you and Madonna would have had. Really? That's what I said to him.
And what did he say?
And he went, I'm sorry to hear that. And I went, okay, I gotta go. Bye. And it was the worst. Like my eyes are tearing up now thinking about it because it was my one time to be like, you don't know what you mean to me. I love you. It's the same thing as Madonna. And I totally messed up and just was an idiot and walked away.
I got to tell you, when people have walked over to me and I can feel how nervous they are, it is off-putting.
I know it
and
is.
I understand that it is a great honor, and I understand, and I do appreciate it because I know that once people stop doing that, I'm out of business.
Right.
But it is. I can feel their
craziness.
thing, and it's like I want to get away because I'm afraid of what they might do.
Men are different, and I was a girl, and I looked really hot. I looked so good that night, and I could have used it to my advantage and been normal, but it was my own craziness. That's why I told her, please don't do it. And the luck, we're back to the luck topic, of him being in the same place with me more than once, and so for me, it's just not meant to be with Sean Penn.
I wouldn't put that out into the universe. It may be not been the right time, but
I would handle it differently now.
When you meet him again, and I
can be human.
When I'm around, I've met everybody.
Have you met Madonna?
I have, several times. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I wouldn't be, I'm just a jaded old queen, I guess, but no one would excite me. The last time I was excited was with David Bowie in like this was in 04 or something. Do you remember when we did, we did that Christmas jingle ball thing at,
Miracle on 34th Street.
Miracle on 34th Street for WKTU in New York. And I think after that, what year was that?
97 or 8?
That was the 90s?
Yeah.
And because I went over to Liza Minnelli's apartment after that.
And he was there?
No, but it was around the same time.
Okay.
I think it was around the same time.
What was that like?
Okay. So let me just tell you, as the years go on, things get blurry. Okay. So in my mind's eye,
yes,
it was around that time. But
okay.
Now that I think about it, I think I may have this story was probably maybe in the early 2000s or something.
Okay.
Because I was at Liza Minnelli's. No. It was Denise Rich's house.
Yes. No, I was there with you.
It was Denise Rich's house. I'm in the library of her penthouse.
Of course you were. You were reading,
Fifth
darling.
Avenue. I was just sort of, I know what it was. I saw him walk in, and I freaked and had to go into the library and thought, let me just get my...
I know the feeling.
Let me just catch my breath. And he walks in there.
Because he knew you were there?
He knew I was there. He walks in there. So I was able to contain myself.
You were?
Yeah. I was like, hello. We shook hands. Hello, how are you? Great to see you. Finally meet you. Lovely. Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes. We had a little conversation. And I said, great. Okay. And that was the end of it. So Then
you went and changed your soiled panties?
I walked out of the front door, went down the street, and started screaming and crying.
I knew that you were crying somewhere.
Screaming and crying because I had finally met David Bowie.
Was that the first time?
First time I met him.
Have you seen him
Bowie.
since?
No, haven't seen him since. But I got to tell you, a lot of people know this. When I was 14 or 13, I used to carry a magic marker around with me and write Bowie on everything that wasn't moving.
Right.
Everything.
That was your tag.
That was Bowie.
Yeah.
Bowie. And in '76 in San Diego, I saw his Station to Station tour, which was beautiful.
Right next to the dinosaurs. Yeah. Right. I understand.
And it was, anyway, but there isn't a person today that I would feel that way about.
The only one left for me is Madonna. Right. Because even with Sean Penn now, and I think even with Madonna, because I'm so educated on my Madonna stuff that I can have, and I would interview her like nobody's business.
Right. But come on, Michelle, she's a mean girl.
I know.
She's a mean girl.
But I'm hoping that if she met me, in my head, that wouldn't happen.
Her.
I'm not going to change her, but I know she'd love me.
Yeah?
She's gonna love me. I know it.
Oh no, that song. You should be singing the Sondheim, but you don't like Sondheim.
I love Sondheim. I don't sing Sondheim well.
What is the melody?
Because there's no melody.
There is no melody.
No.
Let's try it. You must love me.
You must love me.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't pull that out of it.
There's notes everywhere.
You must love.
Don't ever do Evita.
Wait a minute. How's it go? You must love me. Isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. See, I could never remember that melody. But I do love that song, Loving You. I don't know what show it's from. Loving You is easy. Wrong notes. Because I don't know it. It's terrible.
But I know that, look, Into the Woods is perfect. And they're doing that now. You know, the movie, and Meryl Streep is playing the Bernadette Peters role.
Right.
Even in that, you said, well, what's the big song from that? And that's Children Will Listen, you know.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na. And the notes are so specific that I feel like the only person that could sing Sondheim is Bernadette Peters.
Right.
There is no other human being that does it justice.
That's it.
So it should be really interesting to see the movie.
Right.
I'm just more of a melody girl for me.
I love a melody.
That's it, and I don't hear melody in Sondheim. He's brilliant.
No, he's brilliant.
I don't sing it well.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. And who wants to like music that you can't sing?
Right. You must love me. I'm sure those are the wrong notes.
Let me liken it to pop music. For me, I can't sing along with Usher.
Right.
I can never find an Usher melody that flows. Usher is the Sondheim of pop music. He is. Isn't he? Try to sing. Try to sing. You're going to make the one you're with to find a new relationship. Sing it. Go ahead.
Wait, I don't know what song that is.
That's that. You make me wanna. You make me wanna.
Oh, I see that song. I don't know, but what Usher song is this? Yeah.
See my point?
I don't know.
There's no melodies.
I'm getting popped.
Andrew Lloyd Webber did Evita. That's what I was.
But
not Sondheim.
But I thought Sondheim wrote that song. You Must Love Me.
That's Evita.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Dick Tracy. Sondheim did
Breathless.
No, he did that song. Remember something to remember. Something to remember. I can't do that melody either. He did that. He did that.
Yes.
Yeah, he did that.
But again, when songs are written for you and you're writing, I don't know, and I feel like if I'm given the proper amount of time to rehearse a Sondheim piece, I can nail it. Because I can do, who is at the zoo, George? Who is at the zoo? Yeah. And that's a melody.
Right.
But the whole beginning of the song, a trickle of sweat. You know, that's classic Sondheim.
Right,
Sondheim, where
right.
you can't follow it. But anyway, I don't know how we got on Sondheim.
Well, no,
we're talking about Madonna.
Well, we're talking about luck and achievement and all that stuff. I don't know. I think, we're in Hollywood right now. I know so many people, the waiter, the dentist.
How do you change your luck?
How do you change your luck? You know what? I think, let me just tell you the story of for me with drag. Drag was something that I stumbled onto, and I didn't know I was going to be the world's most famous drag queen. By the way, it's funny, it always tickles me when people say, one of the most famous drag queens in the world.
Who's the other one?
I don't know. I want to meet her.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
I want to meet her.
Who is
because
she?
Guess what?
What is she like?
What is she like? But
Dame Edna, I suppose.
Maybe Dame
Who's
Edna.
Brilliant.
Oh, it would probably be Bugs Bunny. That's the world's most famous drag queen, honestly.
Yes.
But when I decided that I needed to, get back in line since Delight had jumped ahead of my stardom, and I said, "Oh no, let me get my stuff together." I went out and did this sort of androgyny thing, this sort of, Ziggy Stardust thing. And people said, well, that's cute, Ru, but when are you going to do Star Booty again? And I thought, I got it. People, that's my ticket. People want that. The universe is saying, do the friggin' drag.
Right.
And I did it. And the whole industry opened up to me. And because I got out of my own way, I got out of the idea I had of how it should be.
Correct.
And I allowed it to work through me. That's how I changed my luck. That's how I changed my destiny. Actually, I didn't change my destiny. I just got out of the way of my destiny.
It was always your destiny.
Exactly.
And I think we talked about once before, sometimes we spend so much time focusing on what we want and the prize, and we fail to see the things that are presented on the way trying to get that prize.
Right.
We never get to that prize, and along the way, we've just shunned everything that could have changed the career path or your love life path or your friendship path, whatever, because you were like, no, that's not mine. That's not for, why do you keep showing up? Go away.
Yes.
You're not what I want.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So funny because, before I met George, I was always attracted to people like my father. And they were...
That's normal.
Yeah. They were charming and funny and sexy, but so distant and so remote.
Yeah.
So remote and so not there.
Emotionally unavailable. Yeah.
And then, when I met George... completely different person. In fact, when I first met him, I thought, oh, no, yeah, well, let's just be friends.
Right, I remember.
And, so here we are 20 years later, and he's my favorite person ever.
Thanks, bitch.
But
I know, I'm teasing.
But he's not at all like the things that... we always do that, but I got out of the way.
He's definitely not who I think the world would picture you with.
Right, yeah.
Part of him is.
Well, because he's gorgeous and he's tall,
right?
Taller than I am,
and Australian.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a perfect example of, as time goes on, me learning to take cues from the universe.
Right. That's what everybody's got to learn from this, is sometimes what you think you want or need is not really what you truly do need. Mm-hmm. And the things that you do need, you're ignoring. So it's a matter of consciousness and always being aware of the things that you're saying, oh, stop doing that, please. Sometimes maybe if that thing keeps showing up, you go, okay, come on,
right.
Bring it. Let's get through this. Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh my God.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. You never know where that next big idea is coming from.
No, I love it.
Let's take a little break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about lace front wigs.
Ooh, okay, Tyra.
This episode is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Now, you've probably tried Hulu on your computer, but Hulu Plus is way more than that. With Hulu Plus, you can watch current season episodes of your favorite shows like Modern Family, The Daily Show, and Scandal. And watch every episode of shows like Doctor Who, Third Rock from the Sun, and The Good Wife. You can even get ad-free movies and kids shows too. So, Michelle, you can even enjoy Hulu Plus with the whole family. Now more than ever, there is so much to watch. Take control with Hulu Plus to stream these shows and thousands more, as much as you want, whenever you want. Hulu Plus works on your computer, smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Xbox, PlayStation, pretty much any streaming device you already own. You can even watch on your phone or your iPad, anywhere. You'll also get access to Hulu's original shows, which are really great. And child, don't even get Michelle started on The Only Way is Essex, which she loves that show. Now, for only $7.99 a month, you get your shows anytime, anywhere. So right now, sign up to huluplus.com/RuPaul and get 2 weeks full access completely free, child. That's right. That's a whole extra week more with the special offer when you sign up at huluplus.com/RuPaul. So get with it and start streaming TV now with Hulu Plus. Now, Michelle, I've got to get you the candy bar.
Can you imagine I haven't tasted it yet?
It is so delicious. I have one up at the house. Okay. And listen, James is going to come here. We're going to go over to Sweet Now, which is where the candy bar is available, because he's going to design this room, this pop-up shop for the candy bar. And
there goes the no dairy, no sugar thing.
Well, it's over at Hollywood and Highland. He's my decorator, yada, yada. Okay. He's going to go decorate this room. Anyway, but listen, we're not far from my house. We can pop over to my house. I have a candy bar there.
I need to taste it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's milk chocolate, peanut butter, and sea salt.
Now, were you
had
in
one.
on the creation?
Absolutely. We wanted something unique, and we came up with, I love peanut butter. I love my milk chocolate, but we came up with the sea salt. It gives you this little flair, this
I'm a fan
aftertaste.
of the sea salt, yes.
It's fantastic.
But now, were you, You could tell somebody, look, I'm going to tell Reese's that I love their peanut butter. So I'm going to put peanut butter in. I want sea salt. I want some coconut. Get it done. Or did you taste it along the way and go, it needs more of this and need more of that?
No. I told them I told them I wanted something unique because I'm a friggin' drag queen over here. You know, I wanted something with a little something extra, you know, sitting on a secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted something that says that. So we came up. There were 3 prototypes that they came up with before they had. My first was milk chocolate, peanut butter, and sea salt. The others were milk chocolate.
You like caramel too.
I do. Milk chocolate, pistachios encrusted with cinnamon, and that was really good. And if we do another candy bar, that will probably be it.
Because you do got some nuts.
Yes, Hunty. Oh yes. And so that was the second, and then there was another one with dark chocolate.
See, I'm not a fan of dark chocolate, even though it's the healthier one.
Yeah, it was dark chocolate, and let me remember what it was. Dark chocolate with almonds or so. I don't remember what that was, but it was also very good.
Yeah.
But by a landslide, the one we came up with, which is milk chocolate, peanut butter, and sea salt, was the best.
So there you have it. The real secret RuPaul's been sitting on for all these years is sea salt. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to tasting it. Where can the kids get it?
It's at sweetlosangeles.com.
Okay.
And if you go to my website and all that kind of stuff, you can find it there. But they ship it all over the world. But there is going to be a pop-up store.
What does that mean?
It's a temporary store for 3 months this summer, starting on May 10th.
Okay.
At Hollywood and Highland, right here in Los Angeles. The store is called Sweet, right next to the Dolby Theater where the Academy Awards are filmed. Fancy, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over there after we finish.
And what are you going to do there?
Well, they're going to be candy bars, selling candy bars. There'll be T-shirts. There will be my fragrance, which is called Glamazon by RuPaul.
It's gorgeous.
I love it. I wear it every day.
I know it a mile
love it
away.
So much.
I told you should smell backstage at RuPaul's Battle of the Seasons. It's like a friggin' French whorehouse with all Glamazon everywhere. It's like, girls, spray it in your room. You're killing me. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
though.
all the girls wear it.
No, I literally love it. And what I love about it, it's one of those unisex things. My husband wears it. I could wear it. You know, anybody could wear it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. And the bottle's gorgeous.
It's fantastic. So we're not going to sell that much stuff there, but we'll do the T-shirt, we'll do a poster, the candy bar, and the fragrance.
And it's there for 3 months.
For 3 months. And
That's fun.
I'll make appearances there, you know, from here and there, but I'll tweet about it on my
The fragrance and the makeup too?
Yes. Oh, you know what? No, we're not going to do the makeup
Just the
there.
fragrance.
Because the makeup and the fragrance are available at Ricky's NYC.
Okay.
And you can order that online there too. Now, moving on, we don't have much time. I do want to talk about friendships.
Yes.
How about a segue there? But I want to talk about friendships and people you've known. Because, you know, I've been around lived in lots of different cities. There are people who I thought would be my friends forever. I honestly, you know, you and I... who would have thought? Here we are, all these years later.
I know.
Isn't it weird? There are people that become significant characters in your life, and you had no inkling that they would be that. And then there were ones that you wished it would, and nothing.
Or that you thought would. You go, this person's going to be, we are ride or die.
Yep.
We are going down together.
Got the tattoos.
And the T-shirts. And where are they now?
Where are they now?
Nowhere.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, it is crazy, and it goes along with the living in the moment thing and seeing what's there and not saying, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with you. It's about opening your mind and opening your hearts, and then sometimes you click with people you had no idea you're going to click with. You and I would see each other over the years, and it was like, hey, girl, hey. And then we worked together at KTU, and it was like, oh,
where have you been all my life?
Where? Exactly. That's what it was. It was so natural that it was like there was no way. Even when we lived in different time zones and different coasts, it was like we always knew that it was there. And I know that I could always count on you. And you know, you can always count on me. And if there was anything that ever be done, it was always like, call Michelle or call Ru. You know, it's just the way that it is. And it's not just working together. It's you know, it's a friendship. And yeah, who knew that when we saw each other when Supermodel was out and It's Gonna Be a Lovely Day was out.
Yeah,
we saw each
because
other
we were at it was at the Penn Hotel. It was for some radio
the New Music Expo or whatever for radio.
It was at the Penn Station Hotel.
Yes.
It was
for Hot 97. It was their expo.
Yeah, yeah. I remember because I was wearing these little shorts from Patricia Fields.
You remember that?
I was doing these radio gigs.
I was wearing a completely see-through lace bodysuit. Full catsuit lace from Untitled on 8th Street.
How funny.
And I remember we had the same green room in the hotel room. I walked in, I was like, I don't know if you remember me. You're like, girl, shut up. Of course.
It's so crazy. But you.
And that was 92.
Yes, that was 92.
So KTU didn't happen until 96.
Right, that was 96, right.
So then there were 4 more years of doing whatever.
But you were in Soul System then.
Correct.
Right.
That was the Bodyguard song from the Bodyguard soundtrack.
What now? When you were in the Soul System, what other songs did you guys do? You did that song.
I did. That was it. We did an album. I did probably not a full album. I probably did about 7 tracks to be on the album, and the album was never delivered to Arista, so we got dropped. Don't know where the tracks are to this day. I was told that they were lost in a flood, so I'll never hear them. We did a remake of Foxy's Get Off.
Oh, I love that song.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
It's me rapping on it. It was a full rap album. And I did a speed rap on that. It was amazing.
Wow.
And then I did Hearts of Fire. Hearts of Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That was supposed to be a duet with Marky Mark and myself.
Okay, what song is that? That's oh no, that's not Reasons, is it? Hearts of Fire.
No, Reason. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Reason.
No, Reasons. The song Reasons.
No. You're singing the right one.
Yeah, but it's not called Hearts of Fire. It's called Hearts of Fire.
No, isn't it called Hearts of Fire?
Love, desire.
Reasons is different.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at my computer now. I'm looking at my Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's not called Hearts of Fire.
Dumbass.
Love, desire. Anyway, friends, now who, in your expert opinion, who are the friends you should have? Who are the,
Well, you should always have somebody in your corner that's a cheerleader. The person that's always rooting for you.
I can do that.
Know that you're always going to do it. You got this. Because so many times we doubt ourselves. And if you don't have that one friend to count on to say that you got this, then forget it. You got to reevaluate your friends. There's got to be one person in your life.
Sure.
That's going to be that cheerleader to say you got it, whether it's an old friend or someone you just met.
Do you find that your husband can do that for you?
My husband does do it for me, but it doesn't impact me as much as a friend. So if I go to you, every time I leave you and you do that for me, which you do all the time, you must be exhausted whenever we go out to lunch, that I leave and I'm like, I got this. I have no doubt I got this. Because Ruth said I got it. Sometimes I don't even believe in myself, but you believe in me and that's all I need. And everybody needs that one cheerleader that can do that. Like, because we don't see ourselves the way that person sees us. I don't see myself the way you see me.
Right.
And you probably don't see yourself the way I see you.
Right.
It's just the way life is.
Yeah. That's the way of the world is the name of that song.
Yeah. Hearts of Fire. I just renamed a 40-year-old song or however old it is.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, that's the way of the world.
That's right. That's a great song. So there was a duet anyway. The advice giver, which is somebody who could be a mentor, a colleague, somebody you work with, but somebody that you love their advice.
Well, that seems like the same as the first person, the cheerleader.
No, it's a little different because the cheerleader says you could do it, but maybe they're just in your corner and they're backing you up. The advice giver is somebody you'd go to sit down with and say, I want to do this. How do I go about doing it? Oh,
I see. Right.
Somebody who's more in a mentor role, maybe. And these are types of friends I think that everybody should have. And sometimes there's gaps and you don't have those people in your life. You'll have the cheerleader, but maybe that cheerleader loves you and they're behind you all the way and yay, but you can't go to them and say, how do I achieve this? So it could be a teacher who is, or somebody in your church or whoever it is that has become a rabbi or a Buddha, whoever it is that, has that kind of wisdom.
Yeah.
Your oldest friend, your childhood friend, whoever it is that you've had, you should always have somebody in your life that you've had that has known you your entire life.
Oh my God, I'm 53 years old.
So what?
Most of those people are dead now.
Oh, shut up. Do you have anybody that you still talk to? Who's your oldest friend?
That would be my friend Micaiah. I went to high school with her.
You still talk to her?
Yeah, actually, we met. I was 15 and she was like 14. And we still talk.
So that's your oldest friend.
Yeah.
For you, I was thinking of like Bunny.
Right.
I'm going back to like some of when you first, Atlanta.
I met Lady Bunny. She was 19. I was 21.
See, that's still in that oldest friend category.
Yeah.
And you don't have to talk to them all the time, but you'll always be friends. They'll always be in your life
It's
type
family.
of person.
Yeah.
Also, for us mommies or daddies or parents or even people that are in a community where they live, a neighborhood friend, somebody you know that you can call and go, girl, can you go into my house and check something out? You should always have somebody in the neighborhood, a neighborhood friend. Doesn't mean you have to hang out and go to potluck at their house.
Right.
But somebody you can always have in your neighborhood, I think is important as well.
So what now? So obviously we know the kind of friends that we shouldn't have, but some of those people, we still keep them around. What is
like
up with
the
that?
energy vampire friends?
The energy vampire friends.
Yeah.
Have you? I'm sure, obviously.
Come
Have
on.
you had to drop those people? How do you drop those people?
I'm going through this now with my daughters because they're at the age where they're changing. They're in middle school, both of them, and devastating things happen to them on a daily basis. Devastating. And to me, I think it's important for us, our age group, to have that honest friend who can say, girl, you're getting a little plump, or I'm worried about you because you're looking, something's not right. Or girl, you cannot go out wearing that outfit. Or even for guy friends to have, everybody has to have that. But for kids, it's not that easy. Right. So it's a matter of me saying, listen, the friends you're friends with now, to my daughters, I can guarantee I would give you every penny I have. You're not going to be friends with probably any of them in high school. All of my friends that I was friends with in elementary to middle school changed, and then middle school to high school changed. I would see them in high school and be like, hey, hi. But we never hung out again. We were best friends in middle school. Changes in high school. So sometimes you have to say, listen, what you're doing is not healthy for me. And I'm having this with somebody that we both know, and off the record, she's trying to kind of wean away from somebody else. And I'm kind of telling her, listen, you have to do this because it's affecting you.
Right.
If it's affecting you adversely, you have to end it. You do not have to be mean to end it.
So what do you do? I mean, are people supposed to get the message by you not returning their calls?
I think that's the way everybody does it, and that's not the right way.
Right.
Because that's just mean and rude. If you were friends with them, they deserve an explanation. So it's difficult.
What if they can't hear it? What if they are you can anticipate some type of a confrontation where they're like, you think you something, you've changed, Mario.
Okay, and that happens. But that's when you can then cut off all communication.
Right.
But I think if they deserved enough to be your friend for 5 days or 5 years, they deserve a listen. And you can, and the easiest way is to put it on yourself. Put the onus on you.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. And you say, listen, I'm working on myself right now. I'm going through some shit. I need to cut off my communication. I hope you understand. Maybe someday we can pick this up. But right now, this energy is just not working for me.
Oh, Michelle, can't you just key their car and be done with it?
Back in Plainfield, New Jersey, yes, you could. Back in San Diego, yes, you could. In this day and age, I think it deserves an explanation. So I tell my daughters, listen, at 13, 14 years old, they're not going to walk up to their friend and say, this isn't working for me anymore. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So then, at that point, they just have to move on and say, you're upsetting me, you're hurting me.
Right.
And that's what I try to tell them, and it's not easy. But for my daughter to go, listen, she said, it just happened with a friend where she said, you're treating me like you don't even care, like you're being mean to me. Can you stop being mean to me? And the girl goes, I had no idea you felt that way. And I was like, oh my God, it worked.
Yeah.
They're 14 and it worked. They heard it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to say, you're hurting my feelings. Like, you're being really mean to me. Why? People aren't used to getting confronted about that. They're used to just steamrolling over people.
Especially a 14-year-old who was able to say, oh, I didn't know that.
Can you imagine?
I love that.
I was shocked. But that's what it's about. So you need to say to that person, if they're not hearing it, then there's nothing else you can do but excommunicate. Bye, see you later. Yeah. Cut off all communications. But I would urge everybody to say to that energy vampire, you're killing me. And what you're doing is making me feel like shit. And I don't want to feel that way about myself. See what's going on. And they might go, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And go, listen, I love you, which is why I'm saying this, that you're hurting me. So if you don't even understand it, listen to me say, you're hurting me. Do you care? You do? Okay, then let's try to figure out what's going on.
No, it's good advice. Well, I am so happy that you are my friend.
And likewise, I don't think I'd have a career if it weren't for you.
I don't know. No,
for you loving me as much as you do and believing in me.
You are a winner. You are a survivor. You will always have a career.
Survive, yes. Well, depends what we call a career.
Now, before we talk about the ever important lace front, let's take a moment to talk about Squarespace. Now, you've seen a bunch of wonky websites. You don't want that because it's representing who you are, and you don't want something that represents you in a bad light. That's why you have to go to Squarespace. Their sites are fabulous. So many incredible templates to choose from. If you're not a designer, it doesn't matter. Now, I built the RuPaulPodcast.com website in such a short amount of time because they made it so easy. And their drag and drop platform is so simple and so fun to use, by the way. Listen, if you need a website for, say, selling your merchandise, not a problem. You can build an online store with Squarespace and sell your physical and digital goods. And let me tell you something. Squarespace plans start at only $8 a month. That's right, $8 a month, and you get a free domain name when you sign up for a year. $8 a month. I spend more than that on my fresh pressed juices. Honey, I've spent more than that on the glue it takes to glue down my lace front wig, You can handle $8 a month, and it's a great, great product. Get a free trial with no credit card required just by going to squarespace.com/RuPaul. Now, when you're blown away and ready to confirm a plan, just use the offer code RU and get 10% off. You'll be getting a great deal, and you'll be supporting this podcast by helping to keep it free. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU. Now, I know all you guys are already building Squarespace websites, and I want to see them all. Send your Squarespace websites to RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com, and we might even talk about it on the next episode. Thanks again to Squarespace. Please support them since they support us. Now, you're telling me that you're thinking about doing a lace front this season?
I've never done one ever. And I told Hector, my hair is just getting more and more abused every time because I use my hair.
Right.
And what I do is I clip in, normal clip in regular Jessica Simpson girl pieces, And that's great, except my hair is getting shredded because he's teasing the crap out of my hair. And I have to wash it every day. And after a while, it's like, what are you doing, girl?
Right.
I'm older. My hair's not getting thicker and better. It's getting destroyed. So I look at people like Gaga, who wears a lace front like nobody's business. Obviously, any drag queen I know, Raquel Welch. There's gorgeous lace fronts out there. Why am I going through Cher? Why am I destroying my hair when I could just be putting lace fronts on and Hector can style the hell out of them?
Yeah, and you don't have to be there when he's styling it.
Right. He could put me on an Ornacia.
Uh-huh.
And I don't even have to be there.
Well, that's the thing. That's why my idol, Nikki Kidman. Oh, Nickas.
Yeah, I know her.
Nicole Kidman only wears lace fronts in her movies.
In almost real life, too.
Almost in real life, too. Actually, Georgia, we were at the mall and we were looking in the Omega watch store, looking at this television with her filming a commercial, right? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? It's a little mini documentary about
it's showing her filming the
commercial.
All right.
And I'm going, look, you can see the lace front there. She's got she's got the finest lace front wigs money can buy. In fact, Sarah Jessica Parker once emailed me the address of the guys who make Nicole Kidman's wigs, these English guys.
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, thousands of dollars. But she only does human hair. And
but Matthew, and I know my Hector, they tend to what's the word? I don't want to say plastic. I don't want to say...
synthetic.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
They like that better because it's easier to work with, they said.
Oh,
and
listen.
It keeps better.
I've only rarely done human hair wigs, or I like to say humanoid hair wigs.
Why though?
Because they're easy. They keep the style longer.
Synthetic.
Human hair, synthetic keeps the style longer. Human hair is like human hair, and depending on the temperature or the moisture in the air, the style will fall. Well, Synthetic wigs, they don't move. They don't change. They don't move. So you get that style for a long time. Now, Nicole Kidman does human hair wigs.
Because she does human hair styles. That's why.
All of her music, you look at any movie, very rarely has she used her own hair. Like in that her first movies, you see the frizzy hair.
Yeah.
She's got curly,
she does
coarse, curly, fine hair.
Yeah.
So it's easier to work with a human hair. Also, if you have to go back and do reshoots on a movie 6 months later, 3 months later, grab me that wig in my closet.
Grab me number 7.
Number 7, and I'll go and do this scene. There's a scene in Mona Lisa's Smile with here she is again, Julia Roberts. She's in a restaurant with Dominic. I don't remember the actor's name.
The one from Lost. I don't know many Dominic.
No, he's this Dominic West. His name is Dominic West.
Okay.
Hot, love him. Anyway, she's in a scene in a restaurant, and I'm like, why is the character now wearing a wig? Why? She's wearing a wig. Now, me being a beauty operator, I can clock a wig, from 100 miles away.
As can I.
I could smell it,
And I love trying to clock up.
I love it.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. They went back, did some reshoots, and put her in a wig.
Because her hair wasn't matching.
Because her hair wasn't matching anymore.
She changed the color, changed the cut, what have you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Nicole Kidman, smart. Why not wear a wig throughout the whole thing? You have to do research. Go just put the wig back on.
Do I have to go now and find one that matches my hairline?
You can do that. They do a lot of machine-made lace front wigs that are really good for the hairline. Now, let me just backstory. A lace front wig has a strip of lace around the hairline to look like human hair coming out of a scalp. And the lace is hand woven. The hair is hand woven into lace to emulate a real hairline.
And you have to trim the lace, kids.
You have to trim the lace. But what someone would do, like Barry Hendrickson, who does a lot of my wigs, would do a pattern of your specific hairline so that it matches your hairline and your head, because the size of their head is different.
Right.
So all of my lace front wigs, most of them are made for me. Now, what they're doing today is machine lace front wigs. You can get online. I don't know.
And they're not even expensive anymore.
They're not that expensive
anymore.
You're
talking $60.
You can
$80.
get them online that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Now, of course, I do only synthetic, but a lot of the ones online are human or humanoid.
Yeah, well, Hector, my hairdresser, likes the synthetic as well, just like Matthew Anderson does with you. For me, my hair's got to be big. Now, obviously, I'll still use my hair for updos and stuff, but for when I throw it all to the side or I just want big, huge hair, it makes so much more sense for me to travel with and to have 2 lace fronts to choose from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But Michelle, listen, you don't have to tease all of your hair. If you want to just use the front of your hair, you could do that too.
And when I wear my hair down, we'll do that. We'll just bring the front out and then I'll just do a fall on the back of it.
Sure.
Or blend my hair in and out of it. But for seasons 3, 4, 5, it's always been all my hair with just pieces in it, and it's been torturing my hair.
Oh yeah, but see, and that's you don't have to do that, especially in terms of time. That's he could do that hair when you're not there. I would do that.
It just makes more sense.
There's so many wigs you can get online too. Obviously, it's trial and error. You don't know what it's going to be. But Matthew does a lot of that. The guy who does me, who's been doing me for the past 22 years, does my hair and makeup. He'll find things online and test it out and see if it works. And sometimes I'm wearing those wigs on the show. Yeah.
And the only way is, what can you suggest to kids who don't have a lot of money and they want to start wearing lace?
Listen, some of those lace fronts, I've gotten them over on Hollywood Boulevard for $80.
Yeah.
I've gotten some. He's gotten some online that were really nice for $200.
Right.
But it's trial and error. Everybody wants these tips and this is there are no tips. You have to
just
practice.
go out and do it.
You have to do your homework,
yeah,
honey. Sure, there are some tips in the beauty game.
Yes, we got ours.
Sure.
And one of the drag queen tips that I learned from being on the road with these girls is what they use to take off their lace fronts is Goo Gone. I don't know what you use.
What did you call me?
Exactly. Do you use Goo Gone?
No. I put it on with.
Do you use the Spirit Gum?
I use that KD 151 that I pick up at Namie's here in Los Angeles in San Fernando Valley. I just lift it up, and you
don't have hair. So what do we do when we have hair in
Well, I think you're up the creek without a paddle is what you... I wouldn't know what that feels like to rip out your own hairline with the thing. I don't know.
I do. The one time I used it when I was Night of a Thousand Ruse and I wore your blonde hair. It took me forever. And that's why I think they say to use the Goo Gone.
I see.
Because it
dissipates the...
Yes.
There is a lace... there's a lace begone, or there's a lace cleaner thing that you can put on there that does it. But obviously, it's not an issue for me.
There's some queens that are... let's say cleaner than others too, that clean the lace every time with alcohol, so it gets all the junk off of it.
Yeah.
So next time they wear it, it's a clean slate. Now there's some queens that are like, I'll just put more makeup on it anyway, so I'm gonna slap it with more makeup. And you can always tell. I'm gonna tell you, kids, you can always see it.
Wow.
So trial and error. Find go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Go to a wig store and go for it. But don't spend thousands and...
No. That's when you get into the Nicki Kidman territory. Yeah. Because those wigs are flawless. They even have some of the wigs I've seen her in have a lace at the nape of the neck.
So
and behind
smart.
the ear.
So when they pull the hair up.
When they pull the hair up and it's on camera, so,
Yeah, but I see her in lace fronts at premieres even.
She does. She wears them always. And you can tell when it's her hair because she's naturally curly hair. So curly hair when it's...
hair is very fine.
Curly hair when it's straightened is fine.
Yes.
And it's coarse.
Yes.
When it's straightened.
AKA frizzy. And I think that I have the same issue. That's why my hair's always in a bun or a ponytail, because it's really frizzy. Frizzy.
Your hair is curly?
Really wavy. And it's uncontrollably frizzy, especially in the summer weather. So for me, the only thing that doesn't drive me crazy is having it in a bun 24/7. It literally drives me nuts. And that's why I think having lace fronts is the way to go from now on. I'm going to listen to Nicole Kidman. I'm going to listen to Cher. I'm going to listen to all these people that have known for all these years. This is the way to go.
Yeah. Hey, do you know that Granny Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies is wearing a lace front wig?
Yes.
You did know that?
I did know, because you can see it. If you watch the Beverly Hillbillies, you can see it.
Yeah.
And I remember back then going, what? I didn't know what it was, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
And Tyra Banks wears one all the time.
Yeah.
And it's smart because you get the hair you want. And who cares if it's your hair or not?
You know what?
I'm over that.
Listen, you know how I feel about reality versus fake.
Right.
You get to a certain point in this life and you realize the lines between reality and what is so-called fake are very blurry, honey. And they get blurrier, which is actually a good thing, because everything is illusion.
Agreed.
Everything is illusion. So don't get your panties in a bunch or get caught up on those details. We don't stand on ceremony here, honey.
It doesn't matter. Like when people say, well, are your boobs real or fake? Who cares?
Right.
Honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
It's doing for me, they're fake. We all know that.
Yeah.
But it's doing for me what I want them to do. It's doing the illusion. It's giving me what I want. So honestly, does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People get really hung up on that, So go get yourself a lace front wig and make some mistakes. I say this all the time. People, on the show, on RuPaul's Drag Race, you see certain queens not start something because they're afraid to make a mistake. And they sit idle and then waste time.
Yes.
Go, make mistakes. That's where all the magic happens, because you never know what you're going to stumble onto in the course of making starting or just making a mistake. All right, love you kids, love your guts.
Yes.
That's it for us this time. Be sure and check in with us again. We will have lots more fun stuff to talk about. Until next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else?